Hello, Radford.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I know how busy you are.
Yeah, no, chasing my tail a little bit between work and riding and doing stupid stuff.
So you literally have to be the busiest enduro rider, well, on the calendar this at the moment.
It seems that way. It would have been nice to be at Romaniacs,
Yeah.
and bits like that, but with the baby on the way and Romaniacs being one of the most expensive races in the calendar, I sort of had to make the mature, sensible decision to not do that. Um, but no, definitely. It's one of them races. After the first year I did it, I said if someone paid me, I would go do it. I wouldn't go out of choice again. So
Mm.
it's uh, it's a horrible race. Probably the only race that I haven't enjoyed.
How comes?
It's just torture. Someone I spoke to, a lad called Andy Noakley, did tell me. He said it took him 3 years to work it out, but it's basically legal torture. So you're not allowed to go to bed early because they've got the riders briefing quite late, and then you've got to be up at like 4:30 in the morning trying to eat, force yourself to eat to have the energy to then ride. I think day two I was 10 hours on the bike, and then because I was just a full privateer, I would come in, I'd have to wash my own bike, do an oil change the tires and mousses, and yeah, do all that before then, trying to get some rest ready for the next day. So
Did
it's
you
hard
did
work.
you do it last year?
No, not last year, it was year before, I think it was. So
So which year did they have the storm there? Was it last year?
that was the year before. There was a slight storm when I was there, but I
Hmm.
think it was the year before that they had that real bad storm where it looked like Manny was going to get washed down the hill.
Yeah, yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always said to friends and people that have suggested it to me, I wouldn't do the race even if someone paid me. Like I like riding, but not for like 9, 10 hours a day and pushing your
Uh,
bike and watching it cartwheel down hills and
yeah. It's just such a beautiful country though, and to ride there's stunning. I seen just today, obviously they had the videos coming out from riding through the building and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I think the year I did it, we didn't do the building ride, and I was gutted. And then obviously they've got it this year, and I sort of wish I went. Just get real bad FOMO. I just keep seeing it coming up on social media. I'm like, I should be there. I should be there. I should be there. But
So have you seen the videos of like Manny's bike I think it's from today's at the end at the finish line or whatever, they've got all these rocks and his bike goes cartwheeling down into this big hole. Have you seen it?
no, I haven't seen that yet.
Mate, it just looks so silly. If Manny's screaming and shouting and like and his bike's
Yes,
going tumbling, yeah, everyone else. I saw like the Brightmoors and whatever Teos and just all of them. Their bikes are upside down and that like they're all trying to figure out how to get through this. But
Amazing.
yeah, if yeah, I you could leave me there for a month and I wouldn't be able to get through something like
That
that.
sounds like my sort of race, to be fair. The harder it is and the more brutal, sort of, I tend to enjoy it a bit more.
Yeah, I remember you saying that to me, but when I've actually watched you ride, you are really fast. Like you're not slow by any means. Like you can obviously send it. You are absolutely mad, and you've got all this trials, like all these trial skills. But you are really fast. Like I think you sort of downplay that a bit.
Yeah, so the speed I've sort of been trying to build on the last sort of year or so, trying to do a bit more motocrossy stuff and fast work. Towards the end of last year, my speed sort of built up quite a lot. Usually prologues, I was useless at the prologues, and then I would have a crap starting position and be pushed back. But I think it was Turkey last year. I had quite a good prologue Turkey last year. I was like sixth or seventh, I think, in one of the prologues. So sort of the speed slowly been building, but still just yeah, needs a bit more work.
Well, obviously on the British, you are absolutely smashing it. You're incredibly fast there, but obviously, I guess when it comes to the world rounds, the level's just that much
Yeah,
higher.
yeah, it goes. And a lot of so a lot of the lads that beat me in the British in the World Series, sort of, I'm a bit closer to them or ahead of them most of the time because the worlds are so much harder and so much more demanding. That's sort of where I step up.
Hmm.
Where in the British stuff being a bit easier and a bit faster and flowing, it doesn't suit my riding style. So it's sort of balancing. And the worst part to go out and practice, you go out and ride and you go out and you go get stuck for 4 hours and you ride some gnarly woods or you get somewhere and you're actually making yourself slower.
Mm.
So the more hard enduro you practice, the slower you get. It's the most frustrating thing. That's well, you can see like Billy goes and does a lot of fast riding, motocross and mountain biking, and that's why he's such a fast and a good rider. But yeah, the more you go out and get stuck and push your bike around, the slower you tend to get.
So I wanted to sort of touch on the British stuff and the new FIM stuff in a bit, but I think maybe we should take it back for everyone that doesn't know you and know your past and whatever. Where did it all start for you then? Like you riding, all your history
Yeah, so
from a kid.
I basically started on a trials bike. Dad hated motocross bikes and enduro bikes, and it was all crosser tossers. You're never doing that. It's too dangerous. It's stupid and too noisy. So it was never really an option, and it was always you're going to do trials. So
Yeah.
I was very lucky. From about 3 years old, got chucked on a trials bike and sort of progressed from there. Started off with a old sidecar at first. Me and my cousin started on a little sidecar at about 3 years old, and then ended up riding trials till I was about 16.
Someone trusted you in a sidecar.
Yeah. I think we didn't really have much option. Me and my cousin, it would take it in turns. It would just be carnage. But yeah, and then yeah, sort of from there, then the British rode, yeah, British level and stopped when I was about 16. I think when I was 16, I was roughly sort of 10th, ninth, 10th in the country at 16 at the British. But just got a bit bored of going slow and queuing in sections and the usual trials stuff. So I thought I would quit and then went and played rugby for a bit. Sort of played rugby throughout school as well as road trials, and then sort of played rugby for Devon and North Devon, represented the county in bits, and yeah, then from that found beer and girls, and it went downhill even more away from racing. Um, and then because very lucky, brought up on an activity centre, and there's quads all around, so we have a lot of quad bikes. So always taking rides out and working from parents, taking rides out sort of was quite handy on a quad bike as well. And thought I'd give quad racing a little go. So yeah, brought a race quad, started racing quads for 2 or 3 years, raced at British level at motocross and enduro on the quad as well.
So what
And
age was
then
this? What age was it, are you at now?
it was probably about 19, sort of raced, yeah, for a couple of years. Seems to quad racing, because it's got twice as many wheels as a bike, they double the price of everything. Um, and then it just got to the stage everyone was building hybrids, like buying new quads, buying, yeah, a new motocross bike and just molding them into this hybrid. And it just turned into a money game, and I struggled competing. I would sort of be up around it, but it's just the price of keeping it going. So I couldn't afford it, so ended up quitting quad racing and went back to trials. And then, yeah, that was about 19. Brought myself a 4-stroke Mont, and then decided to, because I wanted to backflip it and mess about on a trials bike a little bit.
Of
So got
course.
into trials. And then the only reason I ever got into enduro and where I am now is because I won a bike in a raffle. So I
Was that a beater?
never, no, so I won a Lee Ros Edition CRF 250.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that was for elite competition.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, won this bike, and I had a track at home, built a track for the quad because I was racing the quad in sort of the British. So I took it up the track at home and thrashed it round, and I was like, I'm gonna blow this 250 up. I was like, I've won this. It's cost me £9.50, but I'm gonna blow it up. So I traded it in, and I remember obviously I rode trials with Billy and stuff, and then Graham and Johnny and a lot of the trials riders went across to hard enduro. So I traded it in on and got a Beta 302 stroke,
Hmm.
which I then parked in the shed for a year and a half because I had no interest in riding it. Because I was still doing a little bit of trials then and sort of wasn't really interested in enduro. I wouldn't have ever had one unless I won one. And then it wasn't until Dan Mandel come up riding one day, asked me to come up practicing. I was on the transport. He's like, why don't you get it out for a bit? So I got it out, and turned out I was quite handy at enduro and chucking it over the rocks and yeah, bits like that. And then I think I only rode for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then another friend of mine, Jake Young, who raced a lot of the British Championship hard enduro, convinced me, and he rode for about 3 years and trained quite a lot. Convinced me to go along to like a local hard enduro race to just give it a go. I was like, well, I've never really raced an enduro bike, and ended up turning up at that race and ended up kicking his ass, and he wasn't too happy about it. And I sort of fluked it. It's my first sort of hard enduro, and ended up doing really well at it. And then sort of it's all snowballed and escalated from there, and yeah, here I am. Yeah, riding Reju, traveling the world and racing.
So, I mean, that's mad for anyone to think, really. Like, 4 years ago, would you say about 4 years ago, there was
Yeah,
no riding going on, really, like, on two wheels and maybe the
no,
trials.
I haven't. I was bike, hardly used it. But yeah, just
And then,
didn't have a bike with a seat until well, I class an enduro bike a bike with a seat or a motorbike bike the same thing. I haven't didn't have. I've only had one for about 4 or 5 years now,
yeah.
so still learning a lot.
Yeah, so when I had 247 Enduro, I reached out to you. You'd only just started riding. I think you'd probably done two or three races or something,
Yeah,
come from nowhere.
very handy.
Um, and now you're racing, well, most of the world rounds. I think you done all the world rounds last year, did you? Or
Yeah, the
most of them?
majority of them last year and the year before that, I did every one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah, it's been hell of an adventure. My thought the first year give it a go. I had a sponsor, a bloke that I was a local chap from the Black Flag Collective.
Yeah.
He basically wanted some one-on-one trials lessons, and it sort of snowballed from there. He asked me if I fancied entering Valley's World Hard Enduro when they brought the world round there, because it was the first round I think that year, and he offered to pay my entry and take me there and pit for me. So give it a go, and I think that was my first ever sort of real hard enduro race, and then ended up coming, I think 28th or 29th for that race. I'll be able to tell you. 29th. I got it tattooed on my leg, so I remember all my results. Too many concussions. But yeah, came 29th at Wales, and then sort of from there, it sort of hit me, obviously, to come 29th in my first ever world round compared to people who have been riding most of their life and racing and training hard enduro, which I was quite surprised with. And from there, sort of, he asked me if I wanted to do another one, and then yeah, between us, I convinced him if I spent my life savings and we just travelled the world and raced, and it's went for it. And that year ended up. I think Romaniacs was my 20 or 15th race I've ever done on a bike. So yeah, I went in gold in Romania, and I think I've only done like 15 races. So
So you knew what you was, were you even aware of what you were getting yourself into? Like, did you watch much, like previous?
no, so a lot of people. So even before, like I was doing the world rounds, I didn't really know who the riders were. I didn't know who Tio was. Didn't know who Mario was. I heard of Billy because he
Yeah.
was trials. I heard Jarvis, Johnny. I didn't really know much about Manny.
Hmm.
Um, So I didn't know any of these people were, and then I was sort of just chucked in the pro paddock because I was stupid enough to go gold and enter the pro level. Um, so sort of didn't really know anything about the sport. Like I said, I've won a bike. It was sort of never meant to get into it, and then I'm in the pro paddock, and then just chatting to everyone like I do, treating everyone the same. And then it wasn't until I started to realise who people were. I was like, oh shit, that's like Manny's world champion. And now Manny will beeline or like come across the paddock, ride over to come say hello and have a chat with me and bits like that. And it's sort of, yeah, mad to think sort of coming as a nobody and like friends with all like some of the top riders, which is pretty surreal.
Chips all in.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I went chips all in. I know this, yeah, the first year I did it, sort of the sponsor said, that's sort of enough. I've done this many rounds, sort of, we've had a laugh. I'm like, that's fine. And then I think there was America and somewhere else left. And I was like, you know what? I'm big old credit card. Let's go America. Let's get TKO done. And I'm so glad I did. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life. And then the Americans are great. They do everything bigger, better, and they do it properly.
Yeah.
So I paid entry there to go do it. I turned up, went to signing on. They're like, here's your money back for entry. You're a pro rider. You ride for free. You pro riders are what bring the crowds, which are what fund the events.
Mm.
And I was like, that's such a great idea. And out of obviously in the pro paddock, what's there, 30, 40 riders? But like they said, that's what bring the spectators usually is the pro riders. So it's nice for them to realise that and give back to the riders a little bit. As well as that, Red Bull shut off the main strip in Nashville.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Nashville was that was one of the main reasons for going was I've always wanted to go America and go to Nashville because I love a bit of country music. So yeah, they shut off the main strip of Nashville, had the Red Bull sort of straight rhythm or hard super enduro track down through the center of the strip, and there was country music playing, lit up everywhere. It was incredible, and got to go head to head with Carson Brown on that and bits like that. So it's just and then got paid $250 for taking part and doing it from Red Bull. So it was it's just such a cool experience, and never expected it.
Fair play. You've already accomplished more in these, let's say, 3 years than, well, let's be honest, like 99.9% people ever will in their enduro careers. Would you say?
Yeah, I suppose so. I've sort of, if I do something, I get, no matter what it is, sort of, if it's football, rugby, anything, chess, I sort of, if I'm in, I'm all in. I sort of get hyper focused, and I've probably got a little bit of ADHD, undiagnosed, but I might have a little bit and a few tisms maybe as well. But just sort of hyper focus and go all in and get after it. And train pretty hard to do it and get myself there, and it's just been incredible.
I think most riders, if they're in, they're all in. Just a lot like me aren't blessed with talent. Obviously
the trials background and training does help massively, and being so lucky to have my home to ride on, a good ground to practice on, training sort of helps massively, and it just makes it a lot more accessible, because I know that's obviously what a big thing that people struggle with is access to the sport. But just put so much time in training to sort of get to that level. But what I also loved in the World Championship level and Romaniacs and stuff, you don't have to go. You don't have to be a pro rider. I've been trying to convince friends who ride. I'm like, just come give it a go. You don't have to go pro. You don't have to go gold. You can go there, like Romaniacs, you've got bronze, atom, and silver. And then you can go and have a good ride. Like, I know atom and bronze, a lot of it isn't, some of it's like fire roads and tracks and stuff. There's nothing too demanding, so you can travel the world and you can do these races and be a part of it and not have to be the best rider in the world. So, and
Yeah.
I think I tried when I tried to vlog a lot of it the first year I did it to show, and what a lot of people like from it is very relatable. I'm going in a van, I'm breaking down, the bike's
Big Blue.
broke. I'm turning up. I'll have a beer after the race. I'm having fun with it. I'm turning up, trying to sign on, not having a clue where to go or what I'm doing, just asking people, asking other riders, just totally winging it. Um, and it made it relatable. Anyone could go take part in these events. Like me,
Mm.
the first year I did it, everyone's like, "So have you watched a lot of YouTube on Romaniacs? Have you studied this? Have you watched these videos?" Nah, not interested. I haven't got time to sit down and watch YouTube. I hardly even watch telly at home. So I'm, yeah, rarely at home. If I'm at home, I'm eating and going to sleep. I'm always out doing stuff. But yeah, so went in completely blind to all these events rather than trying to analyze and work it out. And I think that's what massively helped. In the second year I did it, I went in so much more relaxed and understanding the event, sort of knowing where to go. And the main thing I loved about Hard Enduro, everyone's so welcoming, from the pros to the staff there, anyone, everyone's welcoming and very helpful, which has always been very good.
So I don't think people, well, there'll be a lot of people that don't realize like how all in you are like at the moment. So obviously you're doing a lot of the British stuff, you're doing a lot
Yeah,
of the world stuff, you're doing your adventure bikes. Is that right? Your tours or whatever
yeah,
with
yeah.
them?
So I got adventure bike tours and
Yeah.
training.
So you're doing your telly shopping with Dirt Bike Express.
Yeah,
Um, you're plumbing. You're sleeping on roofs. I think Dan Mandel posted a story or something the other week with you asleep or
yeah,
something in
good.
some fiberglass or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fitting
yeah,
windows. You was today. Full-time
windows.
mechanic sorting Big Blue. Um,
Yeah,
somehow you found time to get your missus pregnant.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Just
I don't know. What else are you doing, or is that enough?
don't know. Yeah, the plumbing, the adventure bike tours, trying to build a bit of a bike shop and start selling bikes. Yeah, start selling
Oh
bikes,
yeah,
parts,
yeah,
different. Like, so trying to do that. I'm sick of plumbing. I've been plumbing for must be coming up almost 15 years, something like that, and it's great and it's a good job and it's got me to where I've got to. Um, but my real, obviously, passion is bikes.
hmm
So trying to build a business or an income around bikes, just because I love the bike community, love obviously bikes in general, the people with it, everything. It's just, it would be nice if I can just focus and make money from doing that. The enduro training as well. I love training
yeah,
people, seeing the progression, especially a lot of riders who are sort of self-taught or try to ride at an ability. They can ride so much better than they think just with a few little techniques and taught certain ways to conserve energy and the right techniques how to ride, and you can just see throughout the day their riding just transform.
Mm.
That's one of the greatest feelings for me, watching someone just go from levels to levels.
Oh mate, like I thought way back when, I thought I could ride a bike, and I didn't think I was that bad actually. And so this was like when Paul Bolton was riding for Eurotech. I'm going to say like 2015 or something like that, maybe. And I went up to Werndu for a day with
Yeah.
him. Well, I'd done a few, but yeah, my first day riding with him, and I was like, "Fuck my life." What is this nutter got me doing, right? Like, yeah, the stuff was insane. Obviously, I'd done valleys a couple of times before then, but like, riding with him, it's just something completely different. And he was getting me to do all these clutch drills and whatever, just all these pivot turns and on the switchbacks, and then we was going down this like downhill section for mountain bikes. It used to be there or something. I don't think it's still there anymore, but yeah, like you think that you can ride until someone that can ride shows you where you're going wrong and like how to actually ride properly. And yeah, like Do you know what I mean? Like, and you can just improve
Yeah, yeah.
leaps and
So
bounds.
yeah, it is, and like this, the techniques is it's just the same. Paul's a very good teacher, but yeah, he does the same sort of thing, like where you'll do a small, like a clutch drill or something, translates into every different like riding style, and you'll use it
Mm.
everywhere. There's little tricks and techniques you can take away from sessions to work on, but you can, yeah, it does help massively.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
getting me to do like these hill climbs 10 times over or something, and like each one a different way and whatever. And
Different techniques,
but
and it's a lot of hard enduro, and like the stuff I do, it's not as hard as you think. All it is, what makes a good rider is they've worked out how to get the bike to work for them.
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot a lot of the time, the bike does most of the work. I just know what order to put things to make the bike do what I want it to do. So it's a weird concept, but yeah, to practice and learn, it's all about timing, techniques and stuff. But the majority of the time, it is the bike doing it for me, and like the whole energy, saving energy is a massive thing. I see people fall off on the side of a hill, and they just go up and they'll pull the clutch in and take off backwards, and it's just little techniques trying to get people to clutch and catch the bike safely and turn around, and how to even turn around without using energy or getting off the bike. There's so many techniques that you can save energy, and yeah, it all helps. It's now at the stage when I'm going along and I need to stand up in a race rather than just stand up and use the muscles in my legs. I'll find a bump to kick the bike off, and as the bike bounces, I'll stand up because it will be weightless and use no energy. So,
Or
so
that is
for a
how
big race
much.
like Romania,
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
yeah, so for a race like Romania, when you're going along a track and then going into technical, you're doing that, say 100 times. You imagine standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down 100 times. You're wasting energy. So if you can find a little bump or something or a rock, some that little tricks like that,
Mm.
you're just saving energy throughout the day.
But something as simple as that obviously can make a huge difference, like you said, over the whole day. And that sort of just puts it into perspective, like how far the sport has come over the last sort of 10 years or whatever. Obviously, you wasn't part of it back then, but like what you're doing now is just absolutely insane. Like the riding that you boys do, like the level that the sport's at right now is absolutely ridiculous. Like to where it was like 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, so because I didn't follow it before, I never really
Mm,
knew. But I was like, what was it? At Erzberg, I was with Johnny, was parked beside us behind the GoPro van when I was with Regia in the pro paddock, and we were just chatting with Mark Jackson and Johnny, and they're like, "Oh, do you remember this? Oh, do you remember when it used to be like this?" And all the tires were, everyone was running the same crappy hard tires.
mm,
Everyone was like trying different things with mooses, but everyone was basically on the same level. They didn't have all these fancy super soft tires.
yeah.
Just they weren't doing a massive amount to the bikes, and now the technology and yeah, everything's just getting more and more advanced, and now the races are getting harder and harder.
So you
It's
personally, um, how do you deal like with, or do you even get scared like with some of the hills and like especially coming down some of these hills or
uh
obstacles or whatever?
I love I love a downhill.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can ask Manny how much I like a downhill. Roof of Africa, for example, coming off the start on the prologue day, off the start line there was a steep downhill.
Mm,
Everyone was going across, pivoting round and riding along this ledge and then turning down. And as I was walking down, I said to Manny, it's like, you reckon you can go straight? He's like, I did look at it. It's not possible. It's too dangerous. There's a canyon at the bottom. It's not doable. You just can't do it. Well, obviously, after he said it can't be done, I came round and pointed straight, almost ran a photographer over and just ploughed down over and almost took off. Missed the canyon, turned out, and I think yeah, I must have been 5, 10 seconds quicker than any of the other riders on that one section because it was so much
yeah.
quicker going straight and cutting across. Um, I came round because you get 2 timed runs. Came round for the second one and said to Billy and Manny, I was like, oh, it does go straight. He's like, no, you didn't. So I ended up showing him a video. He couldn't believe it, but it wasn't. And I think the FIM seen it was a bit dangerous and basically warned me saying, I might get disqualified. I have to stick to the line everyone else is doing.
That's
So
ridiculous.
hold off and wasn't able to do that again. But yeah, and the same with Romaniacs when I did it as well. I know that it's known for the gnarly downhills.
Mm.
I tried my best. Everyone's like, oh, you have to get off. I think I got off once. The rest of the times I got chucked off. Ended up going over the bars twice, but pretty much everywhere I was on the bike, on the pegs, riding downhill. Sort of, I've always liked the gnarly downhills.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what about, okay, when does fear enter your head then? Because everyone must get scared. Like everyone gets, has
Going fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so jumping, I'm getting more confident with jumping. Being a trials rider, I always jump like a bit of a retard and crouch into the bike like a trials rider. Now I'm getting more comfortable with jumps. And then I don't know if you've seen me jumping the bike to flat over a few vans and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
bikes.
You might have sent me that the other day.
I did have a helicopter lined up for next Wednesday because I wanted to jump over a helicopter. But it's a bit much money, and apparently it's a bit irresponsible because I got a baby coming to spend that sort of money to jump a helicopter. I did have a few sponsors were going to chip in to do it, but I reckon I can find a helicopter cheap at some point and do it. But yeah, so I sort of jumping, I'm getting more confident with, and sort of quite happy jumping now. But sort of the speed wise, usually that's why I got into hard enduro as well, because it's a safer sport. Quad racing, very dangerous. As soon as you come off on the quad always follows you, and the crashes are always bigger and spectacular. I think I'm on about 13 concussions now, so like hard enduro is a lot safer sport, because you're riding at a slower pace and it's a bit more skillful. You don't tend to really hurt yourself as much.
You boys
Obviously,
ain't riding slow. Like you are not riding slow at all. Like yeah, I don't know how.
like motocross is a lot higher. It's a
Yeah.
faster intensity and
Yeah.
more. There's more injuries, and there's more jumping compared to, and even fast enduro. There's more injuries. Usually, when you come off at speed, is when you pick up injuries. Usually at hard enduro, you come off at a hard enduro, you slide down a bank or fall on some rocks. You're not usually breaking too much. And touch wood, I'm usually pretty good at bouncing. I've been known for my crashes. And I know a lot of pro riders don't like putting crash videos up, but I know people just want to see crashes. So every time I have a crash, I pop it on social media, and it tends to do pretty well.
Fair enough.
I remember I signed for Sherco last year, and within 15 minutes, having a brand new kit, brand new bike, brand new helmet, I went out within 15 minutes on an open day, and give myself a whopper of a concussion. Ended up in hospital, but these things happen.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that video. So, someone then, a weekend warrior that wants to build themselves up to a level that can ride comfortably in a PM race, make the sort of top 30, 50 or whatever. What advice would you give them today to get on with it?
Get booked in on a training session with me.
Yeah?
No, definitely just working on technique. Fitness does help massively, but you could go to the gym, you could run marathons. Being bike fit and normal fit's just totally different.
Yeah.
I trained a lot with Moto Fit, and obviously him coming from a sports background, from rugby and bits, he can put into the bike fitness. He knows what muscles to activate and use and core work. The first year I was riding, I trained so hard and was going gym every day, but I wasn't actually getting any better, because I didn't know what I need to train for bikes. So definitely bike fitness is a good one. So riding regular helps, and learning what muscles to use and what to train. As well as that is just down to techniques. The cleverer you are at making the bike work for you, the better you'll ride. And when you're riding better, you're saving more energy. So techniques is a massive thing. Which again, obviously, with the techniques, you save so much more energy. You can ride harder for longer. As well as that, just learning to ride lazy. You can sit down. I'm a sucker for it because I come from quads a bit as well. I sit down quite a lot when I'm riding, and you can get away with sat down a lot on the bike to get through some technical sections, and using the momentum and clutch does help massively as well.
So I remember way back when. Oh, there we go. I think like my first ever time doing Valleys Extreme. I don't know, maybe like 2014 or 2015. I'd never ridden any place like this, but people don't realize on because I did actually watch like a couple of videos. When you're going through the woods there, it is like constant whoops, right? And
It's horrible.
it does not pick that up on any videos or anything, right? And I was like,
No,
what on earth is this? Like, sort of done my best to get out of the arena sort of as fast as I can with the top boys or whatever, and then got into the woods, and I was like, oh my god, I'm just bouncing around here, there, and everywhere, and some of the Welsh boys come past me or whatever, flat chat, and sort of just bouncing across the top of them.
yeah,
I was just like, I haven't got the bottle like to do this or whatever. And then I tried it a couple of times, and you sort of bounce off the pace and overshoot, and then just end up in a ditch.
yeah.
This is what I done anyway because I wasn't used to riding anything like that.
There's just no rest to that. So that race is one of those races you think you've done a technical hard section, and you're like, right, back onto the tracks. I get a little bit of a rest here, and then you're going into the woods or across a track, and it's just like you said, in and out. You're just getting bounced
Yeah,
around, and it's just you're not resting. So where you think you've just worked really hard to get this really hard technical section, you've got this nice field or wood to go across. It's not. It's just relentless.
mm,
No, bless his soul, Kip Herring. I remember racing when it was the world round there. I thought I was going well across them whoops, sort of bouncing
yeah,
across the top, and Kip just flew past me.
mm,
Obviously, being the Welsh legend, he just rode that stuff so well.
yeah, yeah. The Welsh boys, they've got a good playground up there.
Mm. Yeah, it's incredible.
So, the British rounds, then, what's your take on them actually at the moment? Be honest.
Yeah. um, I think they're too easy,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't be. I think some of the world rounds are too easy. I wouldn't be happy unless we were basically put into Carl's Diner all day. I like it. Yeah, harder the better. I wouldn't be happy unless it was a full trial section for like 3 hours. But it's sort of having that balance of flow. But I think, yeah, I think some of them have been a bit too easy and a bit too fast. But still, it's all changing. Stuff's developing. It's hard to do as well in the UK to look at Valleys, for example. They've gone to run a world round twice now, and they've been unlucky because the weather's been so dry and so good,
Mm.
and the venue runs too easy. Yeah, you go in January, it's one of the hardest races you'll do. It's slippery, it's snotty, it's
Yeah.
really hard. So when they're marking these events out, like up in Yorkshire, it's always raining. And then you've got a British round there, and all of a sudden it comes dry. They can't help it. So it's hard for the organisers to put on a good event because, well, partly because you don't know with the weather, and also if it is too hard, everyone will whinge and moan that it's too hard. Then if it's too easy, everyone whinges and moans it's too easy and too fast. So there's sort of it's hard to run a event, and I take my hat off to the organisers. They've got a hard job, and at the end of the day, you're never going to please everyone.
No, absolutely. Definitely, you're never going to please anyone, and whatever you do, people are going to moan, either side or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think for the world rounds, everybody was saying well, it was too easy, basically for a world round.
Yeah.
I don't know what Nick done like up there, but did were any of yous invited down to help like and give feedback and
No, it would have been
no.
nice to be invited to go
Mm.
ride and maybe help set the event up. I like the thought of setting an event. Um, and marking out. I know, like obviously, Paul Bolton's done a bit of helping with some of the world rounds, and so is Mike Skinner as well.
Yeah, yeah, he
They
does.
go
Yeah,
around, they help ride the events and mark it out, which
and they
they're
do a
they're
good
both
job.
they're both super talented riders and do a good job. I
Mm.
think it needs outside help from a rider of a pro level to put their opinion in
Mm.
and help where a lesser rider doesn't see stuff in the way a pro rider would.
No.
So yeah, it's hard, but it definitely would be good. Good to have a rider's opinion on it, or like a good top expert rider or pro rider have a look at these events if to help mark out. Obviously, Wayne Braybrook, from Raw, who runs the ACU, he's was a top world rider as well. So yeah, some of the events he's done's been very good, but then again with the weather, it's hard to when he's marking it out to make it too hard, or if it was raining, some of it would be almost impossible. So it's a hard
So,
one.
do you not think maybe lean on the side of it being too hard, and then if people just are not getting up it or whatever, you just open up the section. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So a bit like the ball breaker. I hate that event personally. I don't like riding on grass.
Hmm.
But it's one of them. It's my weaknesses. I should be training on grass and riding on grass more because of it. But yeah, it's make it harder, open up other options. I suppose that's a way of doing it. It's just a hard one to say. People are gonna moan regardless.
Yeah.
If they do open it up and someone's stuck on the hill that's trying to do that way, then they're going to moan that, well, a bit like Western Supermare Beach Race, people
Yeah.
moan they got stuck on a dune and then they open the gates around for everyone else to go
That's it.
round. It's how do you make it even without upsetting everyone?
There you go, actually. So my complaint, like my frustration with the valleys, actually, if I had to whinge about it, every fucking time which I've gone, it just bottlenecks so much. Like when you're on your second lap or whatever, there are just people bloody everywhere. Or if you have a bad start and you get to a section, yeah, it's just bottlenecked
Right.
everywhere, and there's not another line which you can take. Like there's not a hard or easy route. Whereas like when you go to somewhere like Wills, yeah, like there's just so many different lines you can take.
Yeah.
And the track
So-
really flows. Like yeah, it bottles up for like I
Small
don't know. Let's just say
sections.
like the easy, yeah, like where the easy riders are. Um, yeah, sorry about that. But there
Yeah.
are sections which you can take if you want to route somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Like harder lines where you can have a go at, and there
Yeah,
sort of
yeah. So
isn't at valleys.
no, so I think some areas where it is single track, it's the most frustrating thing because you'll overtake someone or you'll make up ground on the rider behind you on a say a super technical section, and then it's even you'll get into the bits through the woods with the bumps, but some of it you'll be stuck single file, um, which can be frustrating. And then when, like you said, when you come back round and you come to lap people and there are queues. But it's like that with a lot of races. It's hard to get a
Mm.
race that flows well enough to sort. And usually, if a race flows well enough, it's because it's not hard enough.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one. I've Touchwood Valleys this year was very good. There wasn't much queuing. And if you're a good enough rider, normally you can get round people.
Yeah, I'm not a good enough
I'm
rider.
I'm not a very polite rider. If I'm in race mode, I'm in race mode. If you're in front of me, I'll give you a rev. If you're not moving, I'm coming over you. I don't. Yeah. I was known for it with quad racing. I was a bit of an arsehole and would knock people off. I'm in race mode. I'm in race mode. You've had a warning to try and get past people.
Yeah.
If they're not moving, you make them move. And as well as that, a lot of the single tracks, there are the odd deviation or bushes you can go through to make a line around people.
Mm.
So
I saw
yeah,
someone previously at the Valleys. I won't name him, but he'll know if he watches this or whatever. There was this guy stuck, like weekend warrior or whatever, in on the PM. He was stuck and just in this position, and he's one of your mates, and he just wasn't moving out of the way like for this said individual. So this said individual just got off his bike and just fucking booted him. Booted him.
no way.
Yeah. I always remind him about it. But yeah. So you should just move out of the way for you guys though. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, so I always try to be polite, and when
yeah.
someone moves out of the way, I always thank them.
Mm,
I appreciate they've paid entry in their racing as
yeah.
well. I still do it now. If there's a multi-lap race, Manny, Billy, these top riders are still lapping me. They're miles ahead of me.
Yeah.
They'll come round to lap me, and I'm very cautious. I'm like, right, I'll get out their way, and you do. It's part of racing at whatever level you are. You've got to understand that the people are faster than you. And the most awkward thing when you are a similar ability but you are faster, it's sort of it's harder to get past a faster rider. When they're a lot slower rider, it's easier to make a move and get past.
Yeah.
If you give them a rev and you sort of asking nicely, sort of that's fair enough. But yeah,
So
not everyone's like.
the World Series then, like the FIM stuff. What do you think of? Well, let's just say, what do you think of it this year?
Um, it's not as good as it has been in the previous years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the shambles were the start of the year where they had, 9 events, then it was going to be 6 events, and then it was going to be 5. The riders have only decided to do this many. They've run all the events over so many different countries, and the gaps are quite tight for transport to get bikes between. It hasn't been thought out that great. And then to agree it and get it finalised, and then after the first race or 2 races, say, we're going to move this event actually and change the date and have this race here and do this. You can't do that. You've started a championship, especially as soon as you've gone go and you started a championship, you can't move events and change dates. So I'm missing out on Aberstone, which is a stunning race. Absolutely love that race. And my calendar, I don't book anything in apart from racing at the start of the year. Then the rest of my life fits around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm dedicated to racing. Then obviously with them messing about and changing stuff, now I can't. There's certain events I can't do, which is a shame, which is frustrating. But it's sort of they're getting to grips with it. Obviously, it's new organisers of the FIM, so hopefully they'll take away and learn from this year their mistakes and what they're doing, and it'll just get better going forward.
Anything else?
It would be nice if they brought Red Bull back. I know Red Bull being the main sponsor the first year I was doing it, the events seemed to be run a bit cleaner, and like it was filmed better. The Red Bull, obviously, it pushed it into a bigger market. It made the sport grow. Red Bull being one of the biggest viewed platforms helps the sport. Obviously, hard enduro is such a new sport in like the grand scheme of things. It's only been around since the early 2000s, when it first sort of started out, and it's sort of, even now you say to a lot of people that don't know anything about bikes or the sport, and they're like, what do? You ride motocross? Well, no, I ride hard enduro.
Yeah.
Well, what's that? Well, you're trying to explain where obviously motocross being televised and a bigger event. I know it's harder to film and promote a sport that's over such big areas to try and film it. It's hard, but the only people that are capable of doing that are probably Red Bull. I know they're trying, and they've got Mike Skinner's doing a fantastic job at filming and like trying to televise the event or make it viewable for everyone. But same with obviously Erzberg's being a Red Bull event. Look how well it's filmed, how you can
Hmm.
follow the riders, how much better it is, and people want to see and follow the sport. That's why the sport needs to grow, because it needs to have the sponsors and the money and the backing to get the sponsors and the money. It needs to be in the public eye and televised more and be an easier sport to watch.
So I don't actually think Erzberg was televised that well this year for the first time, by
Yeah.
the way. Like being at home watching it, I watch it every year, and I don't think it was that good. Like, it wasn't bad by any means or whatever, but normally, there's just a lot more footage. This year they just seem to be just chasing Manny, really, like, and Mitch, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do understand or whatever. But so if let's just say we went back to the Wes series, like, do you know what Wes is or?
No, I've heard Billy bash on about it, but I haven't. No, I think it was over loads of different sort of disciplines, wasn't it?
Yeah, 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 sort of, but they were all like at the pinnacle. It was all enduro, obviously, but
Yeah.
and they're all tough races. Even the classic enduro ones, apart from I think it was Le Trèfle or whatever, what was in there, but the coverage on all of them was so good, and it just seemed like the
Yeah.
sport was going in the right direction. Yeah, like the 111 megawatt there and stuff, and obviously Erzberg, Romaniacs, this and that, and yeah, riders like Garcia and whatever, all there doing it. I just thought that is the way the bloody sport is going. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. I just don't know what happened with it. But the coverage was good. The riders were all amazing that were on the grid. Some of them weren't going to podium on this race, but some of them were going to podium on that.
Yeah,
And
I think great way of doing it. From what I've heard, it would be the Wes was a lot better, and a lot of people I've heard in the paddock and the pro riders say like how much they used to love the Wes series, and
mm,
like you said, it's the sport was doing well then because it was televised well. It's people can see it, so if people can see it, then sponsors are more willing to put money into the sport. Where at the minute it just seems to be not on a downward spiral, but sort of
it does
a
though.
bit
It does.
stale.
I think it is when you look at it as a whole. I know the FIM, you could say, are involved now, so that legitimizes it. Well,
Nah, they're just money grabbing
yeah.
bastards. So for me, the most frustrating thing for me to do it, I have to sign up for the FIM, so I have to pay £500 and do a medical, or €500, do all the medical to do it, and then if I pay, say I want to go do Turkey, for example, what's the entry, like £960 for me to enter Turkey or Euros, so I have to pay £960, and then if I want the points. For the FIM points, I have
Go
to pay either £100 for that race, or or €100 for that race, or €500 for the year. So not have I signed to be
on.
part of the FIM, done all the medical, jumped through the hoops. I have to buy my points, even though I've paid to enter that event. I don't just get my points because I've done that event. I have to pay for them. How does that make any sense?
Well,
It's just
I do
bizarre.
understand like they need money to run a championship. But when they're trying to make like photographers, if you want to go there and shoot media now, you have to pay them, and are they get all your media. So
Yeah.
are you aware of this?
Yes.
So obviously that's not good from a marketing point of view. Like all these photographers, videographers, whatever. they're not going to want to bloody go there and just film for free, basically. Do you know what I mean? For them,
Yeah,
what's the point? You've got less riders willing to do it, less sponsors that are doing it, and races. You know, you haven't got. I don't know. Was Erzberg part of it? I don't think Erzberg was part of it. Romaniacs isn't part of it. Is the 24MX part of it?
no.
The
So
Spanish one?
Hispania,
Yeah, Hispania
yeah,
24MX.
Hispania is this year.
Okay.
I think they've basically, yeah, because I know Erzberg and Romaniacs got together, the
Yeah.
organisers of that, and they've started this world ranking hard enduro series or whatever it is, like another world championship,
Yeah.
basically. A bit more like Wes, I presume. There's all different events all over the world. So the reason I was on there, I was top 10 in the world on there before Portugal, was because I won Valleys.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I won Valleys, Valleys had a point system. They
Hmm.
were on the chart.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting enough points with doing the other world rounds as well. It put me 10th in that world ranking system. But then I could have gone to Europe and done some different events in Europe and won them, or got top 3 and then got points from there to build me up in the world ranking system as well.
Mhm.
But then you've got that world championship, and then you've got the FIM world championship, which is, yeah, it's all just a bit of a shambles. And then, yeah, some of the races you need a bike license and your bike has to be road registered, and then it doesn't. And then there's not much continuity there. It's all a bit all over the shop. That's why this year I'm a bit more relaxed, and I don't want to. I've obviously had a baby coming as well, so
Mhm.
trying to save money financially as well as be relevant and good with sponsors and race as much as I can. It's sort of how much time and money do I put into a series which isn't running that well. To
Yeah.
me, it's
Yeah.
I'd rather go do other races and do other events than waste my time doing a World Series that's a bit of a mess, personally.
I mean,
So
that is totally understandable. But for someone that doesn't understand, obviously, like how much Romaniacs is and whatever, let's just say last year, how much did, just on a rough guess or whatever, how much did you put in financially? Including your sponsors.
you know what, I've been asked this a lot. I've never actually sat down and work it out. If I sit down and work it out, I probably would stop riding. Literally, and I've put my body on the line for the sport. I've earned, yeah, I've done all sorts to earn money. So I've tried every avenue. I'm doing stunt shows at the minute to
Yeah.
try and get some extra money together to race. I've started to come up with the idea of let me have 6 adventure bikes for 6 months to do adventure bike tours on the North Devon coastline, to raise some money to help fund the World Championship.
It's really good of them.
Yeah, so that was I got a good deal off them. I get them at a cheap price, and then I sell them after the 6 months and pay for them. But yeah, try and get the adventure bike tours going as well as the training to fund it. But yeah, it's big money. You can do it cheap. So to anyone thinking about going to do an event, if you plan and do it right, you can do it very cheap. There's lots of transport companies out there. Eurotech, European Transport. There's a few different ones. They can service your bikes, transport your bikes, which is a big part of it. You've got entries, but accommodation, you chip in with some other riders. You've got a group of you. It can be done. And if you get earlier entries cheaper, or you plan to do an event a year before, the flights, you book early enough, flights are peanuts. So So to do a world, like I said, anyone can do it. Anyone can go have a go at Sea to Sky or Romaniacs or any of them. So anyone thinking about it, don't hesitate. Just honestly, go give one a go. Racing abroad is one of the best experiences of your life. It's incredible. The stuff you see, the culture, everything. It's It's eye opener, and I'm so glad I done it. And it's almost addictive. I just want to keep going and do more and more, but the bank account says no at the minute, unfortunately.
It's mental to think that like a guy of your caliber and what you've done over the last couple of years, you're still having to fit windows and go plumbing, like, and
Yeah.
you're doing all these bike tours, you're doing like the lessons, and you're selling these
Yes.
RFNs, and you're doing all this stuff for that Bike Express, whatever. How you can't make a living, like, and
I,
fund just going racing now?
I
That's
would.
crazy.
Yeah, and it's you see other people out there that are on teams and riding, and you have got them on Snapchat and stuff, and they Snapchat me they're out every day riding or going out mountain biking today or going Andorra or I'm going over to here riding. And there I am connecting up a radiator or getting covered in shit doing something where I'm blocking a toilet, and I'm just like I just want to ride. But it would be interesting to see if I could ride and train every day, the same as the rest of, say, the top 15, top 20 riders in the world.
Yeah.
If I had the funding and was able to just train and ride every day, and it's almost the training and riding every day. It's fun. Yes, you're turning a hobby into a job a little bit, but you're out riding with your mates the majority of the time. They're riding with people and they're just out having a laugh riding, but with that's their training and it brings their riding on so much. I'm trying to ride 2 times a week, maybe 3 at a push at the minute, probably once a week, and I'm trying to compete with the people who are riding every day, so it's just frustrating, but it's what it is.
Mm. So I'm mindful now, we've done an hour. So I'm just gonna have a quick little look to see if there's anything that I haven't asked you already. So what
I
would you
have been
go on?
A&E. I've got a piece of brass metal from cutting a bath tap off stuck in my eye. Should always wear safety glasses. So
Um,
I
go on, go on. Sorry.
I do need to go A&E, but I've been putting it off for the last 2 days because I'm too busy. So
What are you going
it's
now?
I was thinking of going tonight, but I might go early in the morning because there'll be less of a queue.
Have we got like 10 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm just noticing one eye's bigger than the other in the camera result, but I keep rubbing it.
Okay. So let's just say Erzberg or whatever. When you're down there, at the start line, I get so nervous. Like before a race, like it's really weird. Like when I'm starting to put my kit on or whatever, I just want to be sick. Like I don't
Yeah.
I don't know whether you get like that, but what's your sort of mindset going into a
I've
race?
been I've been sick a couple times before a race, usually because again I go over the top, get extra excited. Oh, I need 5 preloads. I need to be drinking beetroot juice. I need to be doing
Yeah,
this, and I just overfill my body with shit and then just projectile vomit it. I did it on the start line, just yeah, right on the start line in front of everyone, just projectile bright red sick from Ride Nutrition, where I must have had like eight sachets, which is you only need the one, but I just thought if I have more, I'll do better.
yeah.
And then just projectile vomit. Go toilet 2 or 3 times before a race normally.
That's the
I know
beetroot
down in
juice.
the quarry in Erzberg, the Portaloos take a hammering down there. Um, but like I said, the first year I'd done it, I was on the start sort of a bit nervous, a bit jittery, like what am I doing here? Like this is ridiculous. Never done it the second year, just like start on the start line with my phone usually vlogging like, all right boys, chatting to Billy, Manny and filming the start a little bit, just a bit more relaxed. I think that's why I was getting better results the second year, just going in more relaxed. But there's certain races still now you sort of get a bit nervous for, but it's because I find with a super enduro, because it's happened so fast and it's over so quick, it's a bit different. You're almost a bit more nervous because there's 15,000 people in the stadium watching you.
Yeah,
But with a longer race, it's just for a lot of advice for people. And the best advice I ever had for enduro racing was be in your own race. Don't
yeah.
don't go tearing off the start line. Don't just ride as hard as you can, as fast as you can, but just be in your own race. Don't let any other rider around you bother you. But I know there are certain riders you can see just they lose their head, you get past them, or they get overtaken, or they make a mistake, they start to lose their head. It's just you just got to chill out, just keep flowing, get a good flow, and just be in your own race.
So would you say like ride at 80% or 90%, or how do you
Still,
gauge that?
still 90%. I can't help myself. I get overexcited on the start line, go off, giving it sort of good 90 to 100% sometimes, and then we'll like have to like quickly wind it back in and just sort of cruise. I've got more relaxed and got better at it. Before I used to do that every race, 100%, 100%. Then I'd be blown out my ass. Then everyone would overtake me, and then I'd be on catch up for the whole race. Now I sort of go out and we'll build into a pace. Usually throughout a race, I get faster.
Yeah.
Sort of very consistent speeds or times, and then towards the end of the race, I will usually get faster. So
Okay.
that's why I think I do better in the World Series compared to the British as well. The British are too short,
Yeah.
where I enjoy the suffering and the longevity of a race. So when I'm doing like say Turkey, for example, you've got like a 7 hour race sort of
That's
thing.
just mental. That is insane. In that heat and whatever, like you're on about sea to sky, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'd love that race. It's a good race.
Okay. So next one, what do you think about electric bikes? Let's just say like the Starks and the Jarvie and whatever.
If Stark are watching, I want one. No, they're great. They're fantastic. Are they cheating? No, but should they be in a category for themselves? Probably. There's not enough of them to do an electric category, but there's certain rules that have come in that I think are shit, that aren't very fair to
About
anyone else.
about the 20 minutes in the pits, and they're allowed
Yeah,
to
so
get someone to change a battery and whatever.
no, yeah, Erzberg, for example, I do love electric bikes and I think they're great and they are probably going to be the future. But yeah, for example, uh, Erzberg in the pits, I have to pick my own fuel can up.
Okay.
I have to fill the bike up myself. I can't be past anything. I have to pick everything up myself. No outside help. If I've got something broken on the bike, I've got to fix it. So I have to do that. But if you're on a Stark, you're allowed 2 mechanics per rider, and they can change your battery. The mechanics were also changing the batteries on the GoPros. They were passing. It's just how can that be fair for us to be penalised and them to be allowed that? I get it. It takes 2 of them to change, but yeah, that should be their problem, or
Yeah.
let everyone have outside help, make it even.
Mm-hmm.
But then the FIM now in the World Hard Enduro Series as well, I don't know if everyone's aware, everyone has to pit for 2 minutes. Formula One, you come in Formula One, you're in, you're out, fuel gone, change tires, whatever. Everyone now, because of the electric bikes, has to wait for 2 or 3 minutes. You're timed in the pits, you're clocked in and you're clocked out. You're not allowed to go into the pits, not have any water, just fill up and get gone because the rider behind you's close, or you're trying to catch up or gain on anyone. Everyone has to stop for 2 minutes because we have to wait for the batteries to be changed. So I feel like that's us being penalised, being petrol riders, to benefit the electric riders. Yes, it's even because everyone's stopping, but what if I could fill up faster than the rider that I'm pitting against, or I'm not going to eat a banana and they are? It's sort of, it makes it good and it's part of the race.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree.
Another one at Erzberg as well, what the electric bike benefits on the hill climbs. So I was speaking to Johnny Walker. I don't know if you've seen the video of who was it? No, I don't know if it was Toby.
Eddie.
I was one of the Starks went up and he done a big 180 up a hill, jumped off a bank on a big hill climb. Well, that Stark can get up the hill climbs, and on the hill climbs they haven't got to change gear, so they can go from 0 to 100 mile an hour, no clutch, no gear change, and build that speed on a hill climb. A petrol bike can't can't do that. And Johnny Walker was saying when he did his Eddie Carlson did a big 180 flick off the stones. I was like, oh, I wish I'd come out. He's like, I couldn't get anywhere near that hill climb on my petrol bike. He said the speed he builds and the momentum on the electric, as well as that going through Carl's Diner, they can't stall a bike.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have to stall a bike, and yeah, so there are a lot of benefits.
They could say to you, just fit a recluse then.
Yeah, that's true. But then the other disadvantage I have, I was riding with Cooper Abbott a bit in Erzberg. Me and him were helped each other a little bit, and when he got stuck and I had to help him up some routes, my God, are they heavy. They ride light and they're a fantastic bike, but when you're stuck and you've got to lift or move one, they are a lump.
Okay, so mainly what I was getting at is, do you think in 5 years everyone's going to be on a petrol bike? Sorry, on an electric bike.
Everyone will be on a Jarvie. If he keeps riding the way he's riding it. I could see it. I just don't think the crowd is. There will be a lot more of them, but there won't be a takeover. People, especially the Germans and the bike enthusiasts, love the noise of the two strokes or of the engines. I think you imagine, for example, going to Erzberg and hearing the start, and it was just,
it's depressing.
It was just not the same atmosphere, is it?
No. Okay. So yeah. What's the most important thing to modify or change on, let's just say, some weekend warriors coming to you, they've got hard mousses, hard tires, really stiff motocross suspension or whatever, literally a showroom bike that's rolled from the floor. What would you say the top 3 things were to change to make them a competitive rider in a normal race?
First, always put a Blues tyre on it, the greatest tyre on the planet.
Yeah, you can't say thumb throttle.
Thumb throttle, maybe. Yeah, Blues tyres, or just, you need a soft mousse and a soft tyre. Otherwise, you're going to have a shit day. If you're riding hard enduro, and I've been out, and you can ruin your day and give yourself a tough day if you've got a hard tyre and mousse. You're just setting yourself up for failure, basically. As well as that, I know a lot of people go out, I need more power, I'm going to get this TSP thing, I'm going to put this on my bike, I'm going to do this, I'm going to map it. Sometimes all it needs is just better suspension and better control for yourself. Just learn how to ride the bike. If you're going to do anything, flywheel weights make a big difference. I love a flywheel weight.
Where can you get them?
Grant Churchwood at Captain Adventures. I've got the biggest flywheel weight I could possibly put on the redo just to soften it up. So many people can't handle the power of their bike.
That'd be me.
Just because it's too much power and it's pulling. Let me just put this on charge. It's literally about to die. Right, back in action. So flywheel weight, tyres, and suspension.
Okay.
Suspension makes a massive difference as well. A lot of people try and get more power out of a bike, and it's not. They just need better suspension. So setting the suspension up. The frustrating thing with hard enduro, the better your suspension is for hard enduro, the worse it is for going fast.
Yeah.
So it's getting that balance. But DMS Moto's bloody good at it. So a little shout out there.
There you go. So who would you say is the next big British star that's going to make it on the world rounds, apart from obviously you and the Brightmoors?
There's a couple young riders coming up through that are making waves. Teammate, absolute legend himself, Bert Boehm. He's he's just rides fantastic. Just similar riding style to me, I think. Just bit gun ho and goes for it, and just has fun with it. He doesn't take it too serious. Doesn't let stuff get in his head. He just goes out, has fun, and rides his bike. Which I think does help massively. Some riders put pressure on themselves, which you can't. You've just got to have fun with it. Toby Shaw,
Yeah.
another junior rider. The levels of the junior, it's just frustrating for me because I'm now one of the older riders in the paddock, seeing all these little whippersnappers coming up through, and they're incredible. Obviously they're putting a lot of time in, and they're just super talented riders. But there's a lot of young riders coming up through, like Toby, Connor Watson as well. I can't wait to see him as he gets older. Just progress. He's incredible rider as well. So yeah, Burt Burn, Toby Shaw, and Connor Watson. They're already doing the world stuff and making waves in it already.
Connor's not doing the world rounds, is he?
Not all of it. He's doing the Super Enduro.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not doing any outdoors yet. But I don't think it will be long till he'll be doing them.
Okay, and I was going to say, what was your hardest race? But I'm going to think we touched on that. You're going to say Romaniacs. Is that right?
What I've done riding wise, yeah, it's pretty hard, but just all round, like mentally, physically.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man and I cried on day 3. I literally took my helmet off and cried on the side of the mountain. I had to slap myself, get back on the bike and carry on. Admittedly, I think if I was to do Romaniacs again, I'd enjoy it a bit more and I'd probably do better because I know what to expect. And I think since the first year, I think my riding's probably got a lot better. So, yeah, Romaniac's definitely all around the hardest one mentally and physically. Actually, to ride, probably Erzberg, I think is the hardest.
What's the hardest section you've got to on Erzberg?
I got to Merterex, which was 2 or 3 checkpoints before the end. I timed out. That was last year. This year, I was going for the finish and was gunning for it and was hoping for it until I ripped my front pipe out the barrel. And then there wasn't a lot I could do. It's devastating, but yeah, next year.
Okay, and you're not at Romaniacs this year because of funding? And
mainly because of funding. It's just because it's not part of the World Championship as well. I wasn't really prioritizing it, but as you can imagine, it all adds up. The accommodation for the week or so that you need, and the entries I think are about £1,900, and it all adds up. And before you know it, I think you're about 5-6 grand in. It's a lot of money. Next year, though, I think next year I'm gonna get back after it.
Okay, last question then. What's your plans for the future over the next 2 years? Let's just say.
Next 2 years, I am trying to break into the adventure bike side of things. My goal long term is one day I'd love to do the Dakar, but that's that's distance future. But just try and do more races. I want to try maybe next year. I don't know if I'm going to commit to the full World Championship because unless they sort it out and it's a lot better than it is this year, I'm not willing to say waste money or go race them all and put my heart and soul into it if it's if it's going to be a bit like this again. So I would love to go do Grindstone. I see videos of the race and it's sort of a bucket list event now. I'd like to go out earlier, do a bit of riding with Cody and Tristan and all those boys, do a bit of practicing before, and go do Grindstone because it looks like a proper gnarly race. So that's one I want to do next year. I'd love to go back to South Africa as well. That was a highlight. I think one of the greatest races I've ever done. That was a hell of an experience.
So you're on about Cody Webb, obviously, for the people who don't know.
Cody Webb. I get on really well with Cody. He's a right laugh and loves jibbing about and bits like that. So, it'd be great to go out practicing with Cody and that. And because I seen Matt, I was very jealous. Matt went across and done it this year, went and done a bit of practicing and riding and that with them and went and raced it. But I think the actual race itself would suit me a little bit because it's pretty gnarly and technical and quite trially, which is my strong point, I think. Um, so yeah, just wanna next year just have a bit of fun with it, pick and choose some good events, and enjoy it. Not put too much pressure on. Whilst building my fitness. Then the following year after that, probably if funding's going well and the adventure bike tours and the bike shop and everything take off, go after the full world championship and try and do every event again. Yeah.
Well, I think from a personal point of view, it would be sad to see you drift off solely in the direction of the adventure bikes at the moment, because I think you've got a good career ahead of yourself, like in the hard
Yeah.
enduro, like world. And it hurts me to see like Johnny Walker riding that bloody Triumph 800 around, and I obviously I've not had a conversation with him or this or that, and yeah, from my perspective, he's obviously doing it for the money, and that's why,
Yeah.
he's got to, he makes a living from it or whatever. But a hard
Yeah.
enduro
So
rider, go on.
yeah, the adventure bike stuff. I want to break into the adventure bike community, partly for the views and the content. I just enjoy making good like I say, good content. I enjoy making content, doing stupid videos, drifting bikes around, doing stoppies, just doing stunts and making
Jibs.
fun videos. I want to do that because the adventure bike market's a better market to get in for training.
Hmm.
So I want to do more adventure bike training and some adventure bike stuff, but still definitely hard enduro is going to be the main one, as well as trying to do a few rallies as well. I'd quite like to do some adventure bike rallies as well as racing hard enduro.
I think that'd be brilliant. I think you should, if from my point of view or whatever, I think you could make a really good YouTube channel doing all of your sends, all of your jibs, all your tours for the adventure bikes, your training, for your enduro, whatever. Yeah, you're a really, you are a character, and yeah, I think you
Thank
can
you.
surely make a good future out of doing that.
Yeah, so YouTube's very frustrating one. I think I've got about 10 vlogs on my phone.
Hmm.
They just need editing together. But I've still got from like Aberstone last year, Seed Sky, Getson. There's so many vlogs and like good content and stuff to get out. Me, for example, I think what was that? Portugal. I was out to dinner, having dinner after the final race, and Billy comes over with his hand mashed up. So I got Billy admitting in the vlog what he's done to his hand and showing his hand and having a good chat and just all behind the scenes stuff that people don't
Mm.
see. But I'm so busy trying to earn money and work to fund it all that I haven't got time to sit down on my phone or on a laptop and edit
Mm.
it. So
I used
that's the
to.
most frustrating thing. I love filming and love doing it,
Mhm.
but it's just getting it together and yeah, basically editing it all. So if
I've
there's
watched.
any editors out there that want some work or want to do a bit of a deal on editing some vlogs together, I can get them the content. It'd be great.
I've
Hit
watched
me up.
quite a few of your vlogs when you was in Spain, training with Billy and whatever, and you was on the Sherco back then, and
Yeah. Yeah, so
Mario.
that was pretty cool last year and quite a surreal moment to have like the what is it, 5 or 10 times world champion Billy like ring me, message me, said like, "What are you doing tomorrow? You riding at Pesquets again?" And I just spent 3 days riding with Mario, and Mario put me through my paces. Me and him had 3 hard days, and we like proper hard riding. So I was cooked. And Billy rang me. He's like, "Oh, you down there riding tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, I can be." He's like, "I'll come down and ride with you." So I was like, "All right, perfect. It'll be quite cool. Go out riding with Bill for the day." And he turned up in the car park, got his bike out, and he come over. He's like, "Right." He's like, "I need you to look at something." He's like, "For the last 3 months, I've rode past this big rock step, and I don't know if it's doable." He's like, "You're the only person that I can think of who would do it." And I'm like, "You're joking, right?" I'm like, "Come on." I'm like, "You're like 10 times world champion. I'm just a fat plumber from Devon. Why are you asking me?" And yeah, all day riding with Bill, I've smashed my back brake off, and at the end of the day, I was like, can I just go now? Like, the bike's smashed. I was like, I'm cooked. He's like, no, I'll take you to this step. I'll take you to the steps. And then rode for another hour or 2 hours, going off in these canyons, then come back at the end of the day. He's like, oh, here it is. So I just turn around, whoosh, straight up over it. He's like, no, you got to go to the left of this tree. So I went back round, bosh, straight up left to the tree. He's like, no, right, from a standstill, straight in this direction. So I did it. It took me a couple of attempts straight up over. And then, yeah, it's quite cool. Him asking me to do that. Obviously, once I done it, he's like, shit, he had to do it then. He did it and Mitch done it. But yeah, it was only the three of us that actually did it. But it was quite cool to be asked to do it first from someone you respect and so big in the sport.
Fair play. Well, yeah, you are a character, and obviously got a big set of nuts. You don't
Yeah,
get scared.
I have to wear a hoodie upside down just to carry him around.
That's why I asked you earlier. Do you not, get scared? Like, how do you deal with that sort of?
I've always been just do it and worry after. I get so many people. It was the same with rugby. Like, I'm not going to play rugby this weekend because I've got to do this next week, or I'm not going to race this weekend in case I hurt myself because I've got a wedding, or I've got this, or oh, I'm self-employed, I got this. Just get on and do it. If you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna hurt yourself. Just worry about it after.
But like
Just
dropping off like a 10-foot ledge and then like a steep downhill or something, it's not really the sort of same as playing rugby. Like this
uh,
rugby match or something. Like
yeah, it's just
you can see
same
what's
like
gonna go on.
trying to backflip the bike and stuff. It's just why would I do it? It doesn't make sense. I just want to see if I could. I don't know if you've seen me trying to backflip the Sherco. That
Yeah,
concussed
yeah.
bad. The handlebars hit me right in the head through the gap in my helmet. But I couldn't see out of one eye. So my backflips are them getting worse, and I was pulling wonky. I did another 4 or 5 after I was concussed, and it was getting worse, and then I called it. But you just sort of these things happen, injuries occur. But if you worry, then you can't push yourself to your limits. If you just get on and do it, you won't understand your limit unless you try.
Well, that's some good advice for anyone watching. So thank you so much for your time, actually, Radford. It's been really awesome talking to you, and yeah, I'm looking forward to where the next couple of years take you, and hopefully, yeah, it's hard enduro.
Yeah, no, it will be. Thank you for keeping my future bright as well. Fantastic lights. I need to start doing a bit more night riding.
Good salesman.
Yeah. No, I do. I think that's one thing I was hoping they were going to have. I think it was, what was the Alice Strem? They had a night stage in it. When it's a normal event and not a world round, they had a night stage. And then obviously being the FIM and a world championship, they got rid of the night stage, which was a shame. But I think they should bring back more fun races. That's what I want to do next year. Try and do more fun races that like with the night stage or some different styles of races. Make it a bit more exciting.
All right. Well, yeah, I look forward to it. Watching whatever you get up to. It's going to be eventful.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I keep trying to make stupid content for everyone to laugh at, and yeah, stay tuned. I've got some projects coming up soon, so yeah, hopefully there'll be some cool videos coming out.
What's the next race? Is it Wills? I think it is, isn't it? In a couple of weeks, you going?
Yeah, Tong. Yeah, we're going up to Tong. Looking forward to that one. It's one of my favourite venues. I still have never been there practicing. I'd love to go up and do a weekend practicing up there. It's such a cool venue.
There's an underrated British rider actually, Will Hoare. An
incredible rider. He's one of my favourite riders. Yeah, just wild. What was it? Portugal, I think. Portugal, the event was running late due to the FIM's probably bad organisation maybe. But or someone on the track. I can't remember what it was, but Will had a flight booked for the evening. He was running 5th or 6th in the world championship, running 5th or 6th, having a really good ride. Just pulled off because he had to go for a flight because he didn't want to miss the flight home. And bits like that. He's just super talented. I've never met anyone like it.
But he doesn't like put himself out there. Most people wouldn't have even heard of Will Hoare.
No.
Unless you watch Herzberg and watch him take that 30 seconds head start, jump start.
Yeah, that was an incredible moment. No, he's probably one of the most underrated riders out there. He's a nightmare for sponsors because if he's having a bad day, he'll just pull off and he's not too worried. He's just a rule of his own. He just goes out, rides his bike, has fun. Probably one of the best riders. Well, definitely one of the best riders in the world. He's incredible. But yeah, just sort of he's happy doing what he's doing, and he's just Will. Such a character.
Well, we've got a lot of good characters in the British Extreme, so it's really good for us anyway. It's good to watch. Yeah, it's good overall. So on that note, I am gonna let you go. I'll see you in a couple of weeks at Will's.
Yeah, see you in a couple of weeks. Been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye bye.